David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And you know what, folks? I am a big fan of Mr. Christie's arrowroot biscuits. I've been eating these puppies for years. But have you checked out the rebranded box? Look closely. Do you see a difference? Yeah, namely, where is the Mr. in Mr. Christie? It's gone. And I think this might just be another example of wokeism in action. It's reminiscent of a few years back when Hasbro decided Mr. Potato Head wasn't going to be Mr. Potato Head any longer, just Potato Head, because of gender inclusion. Is this what's happened with the Mr. Christie arrowroot biscuits? Now, we did reach out to Mondelez. This is the giant multinational conglomerate that now owns Christie's Cookies. And we just wanted to find out what the deal is. Is this all about another example of Transanity or gender inclusion or equity or what have you? Well, we sent them an email. I've reached out by phone. We just paid a house call at security here. The fellow behind the counter said there's no one to speak with us, but he took my business card, and if we do ever hear back, we'll give their side of the story. But really, what is the deal? And you know, in a way, this is worse than the Mr. Potato Head rebranding, I think, because there really was a Mr. Christie. William Mellis Christie, way back in 1853, opened a bakery in Toronto to start baking his biscuits. Imagine that, 1853. He was baking biscuits before Canada was even Canada. So they have basically canceled him, this real life baker who was the inspiration for Mr. Christie's, which, you know, became a giant cookie making enterprise before it was eventually swallowed up by Mondelez. And I did a little searching around the website of Mondelez, and wow, it is swimming in diversity, equity, and inclusion jargon. Here's a line. Institute DE&I performance scorecards for all business units and functions, and mobilize brands and marketing partners to drive change, equity, and inclusion. But you know what? How is this an example of inclusion? This is exclusion. Mondelez has embraced cancel culture to get rid of Mr. Christie. It's simply now just Christie, and if you ask me, I think Christie is a feminine name, so they've really gone 180 on the rebranding. You know, as they say, folks, go woke, go broke. I don't know if that's going to happen to a corporate giant like Mondelez, but again, it just never seems to end, this embracing of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And really, I'm trying to get an answer. I've reached out to Media Affairs about, this used to be Mr. Christie's.
Sorry, you reached out to...
To Media Affairs, for, Media Relations for Mondelez.
Okay.
And nobody got back to me, and I went to the security guard. So we're just trying to find out why it's no longer Mr. Christie. It's just simply Christie.
Okay, and
I take it you work here, eh? Or?
When did you reach out to Media Affairs? Are you recording me right now?
Yes, just to make, just to show that we sought out the other side of the story.
So I'm not going to offer a comment right
Okay,
now.
all right. Because you came to me, right? So.
Yeah, but that's because you're on our property.
Oh, okay. We'll go on the sidewalk if you want us to.
Yeah, so I just came to inquire what was going on because you're on our company property right now. If you want me to take your name?
Sure. Oh, I think this gentleman I gave my card to already. It's David Menzies with Rebel News. Mm-hmm. And since you work here, do you know what was behind the rebranding? Is it to be, is it about gender equity or something like that? Or
I can't speak to anything about that.
You know, a few years ago, Mr. Potato Head had his extinction event. It's just Potato Head. But there really was a Mr. Christie. Way back in 1853, he opened the first bakery. No?
I don't know anything about that.
Please, if you can, go to rebelfieldreports.com. That's rebelfieldreports.com. And if you're able to, kindly make a donation so we can continue to bring you the journalism that you count on.